Good morning, doctor. I am Bharadwaj from Giocon Pharma Limited, in concurrence with Genetic Concepts, a Shodasi Group company. Doctor, Giocon Pharma Limited belongs to Shodasi Group, diverging to desired destinations with its group companies Shodasi Drugs, Bulk Drug Division, GeoArc, our basic research station, IIPHM, Pharma Education, RDL Marketing Concepts, Marketing Consultancy, Aihika Herbocare, Marketing Division, Prachangi Precises, Manufacturing Depot. Now approaching you through Giocon Pharma Limited, the absolute pharma attainments. Doctor, biochemically balanced human body, a big biological factory, blends the benefits of bundle of biochemicals to build and keep the body bona fide. Doctor, deficiency of even one chemical makes all the difference, which leads to several deficiency syndromes. At Giocon R&D, GeoArc, our constant endeavor is to answer these deficiencies and to bring these missed biochemical as our most innovative products from different origins such as bioceuticals, nutraceuticals, fungiceuticals, phytoceuticals, aromaceuticals, herboceuticals, pharmaceuticals, in concurrence with genetic concepts. Doctor, the conceptual range of coverage of convergent therapeutic compartments comes to you in the field of pediatrics, cardiology, gynecology, orthopedics, ENT, chest and general products in concurrence with genetic concepts. Doctor, the microseed which is reincarnation of this banyan tree contains the master print of the mighty banyan tree, which includes the power of resistance for any resurging disasters. Introducing for the first time in India, the resurging seed of resistance, Resistrum, colostrum 500 mg tablets. Doctor, Resistrum is derived from bovine colostrum, contains immune factors, immunoglobulins, growth factors, nutrients, bioactive substances. Doctor, Resistrum, the reincarnated resurging resistance. Doctor, Resistrum, the seed of resurging resistance, contains immune factors such as lactoferrin, lactoperoxidase, transferrin, proline-rich polypeptides, secretory components, lactalbumins, interleukins, cytokines, interferon, glycoproteins, lysozyme, glycoconjugates, oligosaccharides, xanthin oxidase, glycolipids, sialyl oligosaccharides, sialyl glycoconjugates. Doctor, immune factors play a specific role in our body's defense against pathogens. Resistrum contains over 20 antibodies to specific pathogens such as E. coli, Salmonella, Rotavirus, Candida, Streptococcus, Staphylococcus, H. pylori, and Cryptosporidia. Doctor, Resistrum helps the body fight off harmful invaders such as virus, bacteria, yeast, and fungi. Doctor, Resistrum, the reincarnated resurging resistance. Doctor, Resistrum contains the reincarnate resurging immunoglobulins such as IgG, which reincarnates from mother to child through placental transfer, neutralizes toxins in lymph and circulatory system. IgM seeks out and attaches itself to virus in the circulatory system. IgD removes foreign substances from the bloodstream. IgE anti-allergic. IgA antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, antiviral. Doctor, the immunoglobulins have shown a superior defense in both prevention and treatment of viral infections, bacterial infections, allergies, fungal and yeast infections. Thus, Doctor, Resistrum, the reincarnate resurging resistance. Doctor, Resistrum, the resurging seed of growth factors such as epidermal growth factor, insulin-like growth factor, fibroblast growth factor, platelet-derived growth factor, transforming growth factor, insulin growth factor. Doctor, these growth factors build a restore bone, muscle, nervous tissue, connective tissue, skin and cartilage, and also increases lean muscle and assistance in wound healing. Thus, Doctor, Resistrum, the reincarnated resurging resistance. Doctor, Resistrum is a seed of bioactive substances. Nucleosides, preferred form of absorption in the intestine. Nucleotides, contributes iron absorption of the gut. Nucleobase, important compounds for optimum functions. Doctor, Resistrum contains glutathione, powerful antioxidant, synthesizes and repairs DNA, potent antiviral and antibacterial, and also boosts immune systems, detoxifies and neutralizes carcinogenic substances. Glutathione regulates the action of other less effective antioxidants such as vitamin E and C. Doctor, Resistrum contains proteins which ensure growth, vitamins for normal metabolism, minerals for development. Thus, Doctor, Resistrum, the reincarnated resurging resistance. Dr. Resistrum, the races of resourceful robustness of resistance. Resistrum can be used for weight loss, enhances athletes' performance, elevates mood, and keeps active as the system influences feel-good chemicals, dopamine, and serotonin. Doctor, Resistrum is highly useful in herpes viral infections. Resistrum offers faster healing of open wounds. Resistrum is highly effective in rotavirus diarrhea, gingivitis, and arthritis. Doctor, Resistrum reseeds the power of resistance and develops total immunity. Doctor, please prescribe Resistrum, the reincarnated resurging resistance. Doctor, introducing Resistrum PB, colostrum plus pre and probiotics sachet. Resistrum PB, the resurging advantage of pre and probiotics. Colostrum 150 mg, lactic acid bacillus acidophilus 40 millispores, lactic acid bacillus rhamnosus 40 millispores, bifidobacterium bifidum 25 millispores, fructo-oligosaccharides 100 mg, and Saccharomyces boulardii 25 millispores. Doctor, why pre and probiotics? Over a period of time, colonies of friendly bacteria lose their vitality. Disruption and changes in the acid and alkaline balance, usage of NSAID, chlorine in the drinking water, radiation, and chemotherapy are devastating to inner bacterial environment. Doctor, virtually all meat, chicken, and dairy products loaded with antibiotics which destroy beneficial bacteria of GI tract. Diet high in meat and fat takes so long to break and promotes the growth of harmful, putrefying bacteria. Cigarettes, alcohol, and stress, and finally usage of antibiotics warrants the pre and probiotics. Thus, Dr. Resistrum PB, the reincarnate resurging resistance that reinforces rewarding restoration. Dr. Resistrum PB, the resurging and reinforcing advantage of pre and probiotics, decreases chronic diarrhea and constipation, enhances immune response, restores balance of GI microflora and promotes gut barrier functions, activates innate immunity and enhances adaptive immunity during infections, aids digestion, lowers incidence of allergy and helps in synthesis of B complex factors, exhibits resistance to gastric acid, bile, and high temperature, inhibits the proliferation of harmful bacteria and creates normal conditions in GI tract. Doctor, Resistrum PB is highly effective in irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory disease, and restores natural flora in the large and small intestine. Thus, Doctor, the Resistrum PB, the reincarnated resurging resistance that reinforces rewarding restoration. Doctor, Resistrum PB, a rewarding reinforcement of beneficial bacteria. Doctor, in diseases associated with reducing levels of beneficial bacteria such as acne, ADHD, which is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, allergies, arthritis, asthma, bladder and urinary tract infections, breast pathologies, cardiac problems, chronic fatigue, colitis, colon cancer, compromised immunity, constipation, diarrhea, diverticulitis, ear and respiratory infection in children, eye, ear and throat diseases, foul breath and body odor, gastritis, headaches, hormonal imbalances, irritable bowel syndrome, liver and gallbladder problems, migraine headaches, ovarian and uterine cancers, postmenopausal syndrome, sinus problems, spastic colon, stomach bloating, and vaginal yeast infections. Doctor, please prescribe Resistrum PB, the reincarnate resurging resistance that reinforces rewarding restoration. Doctor, Paropakaraya phalanti vrukshaha. They only live for others. They sacrifice their fruits, even the mold born over the fruits stands as a symbol of sacrifice. In fact, Doctor, lack of sacrifices of the surrounding sort ensures endurance of eventual human race. Doctor, introducing the symbol of sacrifice that ensures eventual endurance, Sacrolac Z, with the advantage of zinc. Sacrolac Z contains Saccharomyces boulardii 2.5 billion spores, lactic acid bacillus 100 millispores, zinc lactate 37.5 mg. Doctor, Saccharomyces boulardii, the unique probiotic product, offers resistance to gastric acidity and proteolysis, exerts beneficial effects on the gastrointestinal tract, prevents and treats antibiotic-induced diarrhea, increases immune proteins that fight intestinal invaders. Dr. Sacrolac Z is highly effective in adults, children, and infants. Dr. Zinc exhibits secured synergistic action. Dr. Saccharomyces boulardii secretes immunoglobulins which provide protection against invading microbes in GIT, which in turn promotes immunity. Saccharomyces boulardii secretes polyamines which improves the absorption of carbohydrates, growth of bifidobacterium count, thereby promotes immunity. Zinc in sacrolac Z attached to glycoproteins and glycolipids prevents binding of E. coli to the intestinal surface, promotes mucosal resistance to infections. Dr. Sacrolac Z, the sacrosanct sacrifice that secures subsequent sustenance. Dr. Sacrolac Z. Doctor, since zinc and probiotics work via different mechanisms, it is possible that adding both would have a synergetic effect. In addition to probiotics, intervention trials have demonstrated that addition of oral zinc can also reduce the duration of severity of acute diarrhea in children. Doctor, the role of zinc in reduction of diarrhea by reducing ion secretions, nitric oxide synthesis, regeneration of enterocytes, replenishing enteric enzymes and cellular immunity, and maintaining balance between T helper cells 1 and 2. Thereby, Dr. Sacrolac Z promotes immunity, promotes mucosal resistance to infections, promotes production of antibiotics against intestinal pathogens. Sacrolac Z has antioxidant property, restores mucosal barrier integrity and intestinal cell enzyme activity. It blocks cyclic AMP-mediated chlorine secretion, increases intestinal permeability. Doctor, in gastroenteritis, infectious diarrhea, persistent diarrhea and recurrent diarrhea, please prescribe Sacrolac Z, the sacrosanct sacrifice that secures subsequent sustenance. Dots on the rising moon, an indelible identity, but drops of urine on the bed of your rising sun, an insultable identity. Introducing for the first time in India, a history in the phytochemistry and a long-awaited answer to nocturnal enuresis and incontinence. Enural capsules saves all children from insultable identity. Enural capsules are made out of Trichonis nixvomica 100 mg, Glycyrrhiza glabra 200 mg, Allium cepa 100 mg, Mucana puris 100 mg, Asparagus racemosus 100 mg. The two-way action ensures enormous results in nocturnal enuresis and incontinence. Doctor, Enural shows its action by producing more ADH, arginine vasopressin hormone, which reduces urine production at night by developing the ability to wake up when the bladder is full. Enural, an insurance for enticing entity of life. Doctor, Enural, an insurance of enticing entity of life, signals the kidney to decrease the amount of urine production by increasing more production of ADH during nighttime. This decreased production at night allows people to sleep throughout the night without having to urinate. Doctor, Enural improves effective ADH production, makes the kidneys to respond to the produced ADH, thereby controls polyuria. Enural improves bladder capacity, thereby effectively works on incontinence, controls detrusor overactivity and instability, thereby controls all types of enuresis. Doctor, in case of nocturnal enuresis, incontinence, all types of enuresis, please prescribe Enural, an insurance for enticing entity of life. Doctor, now I would like to introduce a unique product which is several years of research excellence through Aromaceuticals division. Doctor, sounds at serene is a serious signal. Doctor, snoring at slumber is a striking serious signal. Doctor, introducing for the first time in India, Snoril that nils the snoring. Doctor, Snoril capsules are made out of aromatic extracts derived from Vasaka, Sunti, Yastimadu, Pippali and Bilva. Doctor, all the aromatic compounds present in the above extracts exerts their action on uvula and soft palate and makes smooth airflow, which in turn stops snoring. Snoril opens the throat, repositions tense jaw, softens the fat in and around throat, clears obstruction in nasal pathway, relaxing throat muscles, keeps intact the cleft palate, enlarged adenoids and other physical attributes, clears blocked airways, clears vacuum in the throat. Doctor, Snoril, sounds for sound nil serenity. Doctor, the first aromaceutical product in India, Snoril, sounds for sound nil serenity. Doctor, multiple studies reveal a positive correlation between loud snoring and risk of heart attack, about 34% with carotid artery atherosclerosis and stroke, about 67% with risk of brain damage. Doctor, whatever it may be, snoring is a striking serious signal. Doctor, dosage is for 5 to 30 days, 1 BID. Doctor, for snoring and sleep apnea, please prescribe Snoril, sounds for sound nil serenity. Doctor, a bouncer bound to produce exclamatory and extraordinary results always beyond expected boundaries. Introducing for the first time in the world a wondered wound healer, Woundser capsules, a bouncer against all wounds. Doctor, Wounser contains extracted phytochemicals from Kanchanara 100 mg, Chavya 80 mg, Mustaka 80 mg, Guduchi 80 mg, Punarnava 80 mg, and Satavari 80 mg. Doctor, the six-pack bouncer produces exclamatory and extraordinary results always beyond expected boundaries. Doctor, all the above six ingredients of Wounser accelerate the physiological process of wound healing. Wounser facilitates classic wound healing sequences simultaneously. Wounser activates all the biochemicals required to repair the damaged and facilitates to release at the site of damage. Removes coagulated particles and increase vasodilation of the blood vessels at the site of the wound. Wounser activates and increases influx of biochemical and phytochemicals which ensures tissue repair. Thereby, Wounser fastens the removal of debris and vasodilation which facilitates faster healing. Wounser, an exclamatory and extraordinary bouncer against all wounds. Doctor, a wondered wound healer, Wounser, a six-pack powerful bouncer, exhibits exclamatory and extraordinary action in all phases of natural healing process. Doctor, Wounser in the first phase breaks the intrinsic and extrinsic clotting, clears thrombocyte clumping. Doctor, by increasing vasodilation, Wounser allows the influx of more material for tissue repair, thereby ensures quick healing and clearance of damaged tissue and debris. Doctor, Wounser in the second phase exerts its action on both the stages of second phase. At early phase, Wounser increases release of polymorphonuclear leukocytes (PML), and at later phase, Wounser accelerates the healing process wherein monocytes exude from vessels (macrophages), which continue the cleaning process and produce various growth factors which multiplies endothelial cell. Doctor, Wounser in the third phase plays a critical role in all the different subphases with discrete time frame. Thus, Wounser heals any type of wounds within short time. Doctor, in fibro subphase, Wounser stimulates fibroblast migration which lays down new collagen. In matrix deposition phase, Wounser creates movements by influencing collagen precursor tropocollagen. In angiogenesis phase, Wounser stimulates fibroblast growth factors and vascular endothelial growth factors which in turn modulate angiogenesis. In re-epithelial phase, Wounser speeds up the process by spreading of cells, division of peripheral cells, which results in this epithelial cell layer. Doctor, in phase 4, Wounser speeds up the activity of constant alterations known as remodeling. Collagen is degraded and deposited in an equilibrium-producing fashion, resulting in no change in the amount of collagen present in the wound. Wounser achieves maximal tensile strength within short time, which results in the original skin replacement. Doctor, Wounser, an exclamatory and extraordinary bouncer against all wounds. Doctor, a wounded wound healer Wounser capsules is a wounded bouncer in the world of wounds. Wounser, a bounded bouncer in burst wounds. Wounser, a sure shot bouncer in surgical wounds. Wounser, a dedicated bouncer in a diabetic wound. Wounser, legitimate bouncer in leg ulcers. Wounser, an oriented bouncer in the orthopedic wounds. Wounser, a targeted bouncer in trauma wounds. Wounser, an apt bouncer in advanced wounds. Doctor, Wounser, an exclamatory and extraordinary bouncer against all wounds. A wondered wound healer. Wounser, a wondered bouncer in the world of wounds. Doctor, Wounser is worthy Wounser and had 100,000 bouncer against all HIV wounds such as HIV stomatitis and HIV wounds. Doctor, please prescribe Wounser, an exclamatory and extraordinary bouncer against all wounds. Doctor, is fertility a chance or choice? Doctor, introducing for the first time in India, Ferticon ovulation test kit that makes to choose the chance. Doctor, Ferticon is a pocket microscope intended for easily predicting ovulation by means of saliva, which allows to predict most fertile time of month to conceive or not to conceive. Doctor, Ferticon is a mini microscope. During ovulation time, women experience a marked increase in the presence of estrogen, which allows the ovum to be released from the ovary. The estrogen surge present in the woman's saliva, blood and urine. As the level of estrogen increases, the mineral salts in the saliva crystallize more easily. They can be viewed in the ferning patterns with Ferticon. Doctor, Ferticon, a focus to choose the chance for fertility control. Doctor, Ferticon offers women's fertility test by means of saliva. The test procedure involves initially focus the device looking through the purple colored area. Next, Place a drop of saliva on the surface of the crystal in the white colored area. Try to avoid air bubbles. Next, once the saliva gets dried, look through the lens in the purple colored area towards intense light. And finally, you can take photograph with mobile phone by moving camera up to the lens of the device. Dr. Ferticon, a focus to choose the chance for fertility control. Dr. Ferticon shows the final results at your fingertips. No fern formation indicates woman is non-fertile on that particular day. In transitional period of the woman is going to ovulate. The fern patterns indicate that woman is fertile on that particular day. Doctor, the use of Ferticon is easy and fast, hygiene, all natural and high reliability. Doctor, Ferticon is reusable for any number of times. Doctor, please prescribe Ferticon, a focus to choose the chance of fertility control. Doctor, water paradox. The Trans-Ganga Godavari project makes Bharat Mahan. The translocation from unwanted to wanted makes India structurally strong. Dr. Calcium paradox. The calcium at heart and blood vessels unwanted. Doctor, the same calcium at bone most wanted. Doctor, introducing for the first time in India that translocates the calcium from unwanted to wanted. Trantium, Minaquinone 45 mcg tablets. Doctor, Trantium, a power projected problem-solving agent of calcium paradox. Dr. Trantium plays an essential role in modulation of aberrant calcium metabolism. Doctor, abnormal deposition of calcium in arteries and heart valves is a major risk factor for both cardiovascular disease and osteoporosis. Minaquinone is dependent cofactor for carboxylation of the human matrix, GLA protein, a major inhibitor for arterial calcification. Vitamin K2 as minaquinone K27 has been shown to be effective for maintaining calcium balance by helping to keep calcium in the bones and out of the vascular media. Dr. Trantium gives cardio and vascular protective action. Dr. Trantium supports coronary and systematic vascular circulation, encourages healthy calcium metabolism. Dr. Trantium helps protect cellular membranes and reduce LDL oxidation, supports cardiovascular mitochondrial energy and muscle contraction. Dr. Trantium supports healthy methylation activity. Doctor, for prevention of atherosclerosis, calcified arterial plaque and renal osteodystrophy, please prescribe Trantium, the unwanted wanted translocation. Ma Tujhe Salam. You have solved mother paradox for many. Worked for so long, many years with your structural strength. We never let you down. Doctor, introducing for the first time in India that safeguards the structural strength through translocation of unwanted wanted calcium paradox. Trantium MC milk calcium 200 mg plus calcitriol 0.25 mcg plus boron 250 mcg plus zinc 7.5 mg and minaquinone K27 22.5 mcg. Doctor, when there is an increased risk of fracture, decreased bone mineral density, disrupted microarchitecture, altered non-collagenous protein in body's structural framework, spells on structural strength, osteoporosis. So long, worked mothers will be oscillated for osteoporosis. Dr. Trantium MC contains milk calcium. Dr. Milk calcium in Trantium MC helps build greater bone density because Dr. Milk calcium contains 24% calcium and 13% phosphorus, a ratio conducive to bone growth and increased bone density. Doctor, phosphorus is required to merge calcium into bones. Doctor, milk calcium delivers calcium to phosphorus ratio to that of milk and bone. Doctor, the calcium to phosphorus ratio in milk calcium is approximately 2:1 as in bones. Doctor, milk calcium is 100% for milk vegetarian source. Doctor, milk calcium provides excellent bioavailability because milk calcium is an efficient source of dietary calcium. Doctor, milk calcium is free from heavy metals in contrast to other calcium sources. Doctor, milk calcium is totally free from contaminants such as lead, mercury, cadmium, aluminium. Several studies proved that milk calcium does not have any side effects. Thus, Dr. Trantium MC, the unwanted wanted translocation for structural strength. Dr. Trantium MC gives structural strength due to its unique structure of other ingredients. Doctor, apart from milk calcium, Trantium MC contains minaquinone K27, provides the most active and bioavailable form of vitamin K27. Minaquinone K27 supports cardiovascular health, helps strengthen the bones, adds in calcium absorption in bones, helps increase bone density levels, help reduce the level of calcium in your bloodstream. Doctor, calcitriol in Transium MC increases gastric intestinal calcium absorption, inhibits osteoclastic calcium resorption from bone, facilitates the effect of parathyroid hormone has bone resorption, increases renal tubular absorption of calcium. Doctor, zinc in Transium MC minimizes bone muscle loss, increases bone growth factor and bone matrix protein, increases bone matrix, contributes to boost immune system and makes wound heals faster and an integral part in growth and maintenance of the body tissue. Necessary to maintain bone health and help prevent osteoporosis. Zinc in Transium MC increases BMD and reduces the rate of new fractures. Doctor, boron in Transium MC promotes healthy bones and joints, supports health calcium metabolism, helps maintain healthy levels of testosterone and estrogen, supports healthy vitamin D metabolism, promotes healthy aging, reduces osteoporosis, directs mineralization of bones, significant reduction of pain and swelling and increases mobility. Doctor, in osteoporosis, fractures and growth, please prescribe Transium MC, the unwanted wanted translocation for structural strength. Doctor, women, a wonderful world of worship. Women, a federation of simultaneous feelings, facilitates her femininity for worship. Varied hormonal harmony makes her a worship. Doctor, introducing for the first time in India that maintains harmony of hormones to keep her forever a world of worship. Transium HRT. Doctor, Transium HRT contains milk calcium 200 mg, calcitriol 0.25 mcg, boron 250 mcg plus zinc 7.5 mg and minaquinone K27 22.5 mcg with ipriflavin 200 mg plus soya isoflavin 60 mg. Doctor, you can achieve harmony of hormones replacement with Transium HRT. Doctor, ipriflavin in Transium HRT restrains bone loss particularly in elderly postmenopausal women, stimulates new bone growth and decreases fracture, enhances the effect of low-dose estrogen on bone prevention, effective in prevention of acute bone loss and protects from steroid-induced osteoporosis, effective in other bone pathology, Packett's disease, hyperparathyroidism, renal osteodystrophy, and tinnitus due to autosclerosis. Exerts its bone protective effects by inhibiting of osteoclastic and enhancement of osteoblastic activity without having direct estrogenic effect. Affects bone remodeling by inhibiting bone resorption without affecting bone formation. Increases cardiovascular capacity due to its oxygen sparing effect and influences the mitochondrial energetics in a positive manner. Soya isoflavin in Transium HRT eases menopause symptoms such as hot flushes and increases bone density, reduces heart attack risk by inhibiting the growth of cells that form artery clogging plaque, improve bone health by preserving bone substance and fight osteoporosis and also assist increasing new bone. Genistein and other isoflavins can prevent osteoporosis. Reduces cancer risk, protects against cancer cells like other cancer treating drugs, reducing risk of breast and endometrial cancer. Isoflavins can act as natural antioxidants, highly potent antioxidant compared to vitamin E. Genistein and diazinon are important components that reduces free radical damage to DNA, thereby prevents long-term cancer risk and lowers cholesterol. Thus, Doctor, Transium HRT, the unwanted wanted translocation for hormonal harmony. Doctor, Transium HRT maintains hormonal harmony due to harmony of all ingredients. Doctor, minaquinone K27 in Transium HRT reduce resorption, increases bone mineral density and limit atherosclerosis by inhibiting the mevalonate pathway in the same way as nitrogen containing bisphosphonates and exhibits synergism with bisphosphonates. Doctor, milk calcium in Transium HRT significantly reduces premenstrual syndrome, significantly increases bone mineral density in prepubertal girls, Doctor, the calcium and phosphorus ratio ensures merge of calcium in bones, ensures high bioavailability. Doctor, calcitriol in Transium HRT promotes calcium absorption in the intestine and retention at the kidney, thereby increases serum calcium level. Increases renal tubular phosphate resorption, thereby decreasing serum phosphate levels, PTH level, and bone resorption. Doctor, zinc in Transium HRT, the proliferative effect of estrogen on osteoblastic cell was also enhanced by zinc. Doctor, zinc can act on vertebral or postmenopausal and femoral or senile fracture disorders. Doctor, boron in Transium HRT improves vitamin D and steroid hormone status in blood, reduces osteoporosis, directs mineralization of bones, downregulates immune system, increases superoxide dismutase and catalase production. Doctor, please prescribe Transium HRT, the unwanted wanted translocation for hormonal harmony. Woman, a wonderful creation in the world, certain classic credentials, feathers, furthermore femininity. Introducing for the first time that crafts the classic credentials, Mastel Roll-On. Jasmine tulip flavored breast massage oil roll on and cosmeceutical product that brings forbidden femininity. Doctor, Mastel crafts the classic credentials such as size, shape, and sagging of breasts. Mastel stimulates and maintains hormonal harmony, which determines size and shape. Mastel stills the subcutaneous adipose tissue, which gives shape to breasts. Mastel crafts the breast according to the morphological variations of women's chest. Mastel crafts the classic credentials for all ages and influences the influential hormones. Mastel that crafts the classic credentials. Doctor, Mastel that manures to measure in micromastia. Mastel corrects all the hormonal balances. Mastel softens the breast tissue which ensures healthy growth. Mastel corrects at ptosis level. Mastel brings healthy growth of adipose tissue. Mastel helps to branching the lobes. Mastel that crafts the classic credentials. Doctor, Mastel that debugs the difference in the size and shape of the right and left breast. Mastel corrects the glandular, areolar, and connective tissue. Mastel brings equilibrium in both the breasts. Mastel corrects the morphological variations. Mastel that crafts the classic credentials. Doctor, Mastel that shapes the sagging breast. Mastel corrects the glandular tissue. Mastel brings life into adipose tissue. Mastel increases tensile strength to connective tissue. Mastel that crafts the classic credentials. Doctor, Mastel complements and supplements cancer corrections. Mastel corrects pre-cancer symptoms. Mastel smoothens all lumps. Mastel corrects and brings equilibrium between larger and lower cancer breasts. Mastel corrects nipple position, inverted nipple, rash on or around nipple, and releases pain of nipple and breasts. Mastel crafts cancer recovery best. Doctor, is bariatric surgery is the ultimate to control diabetes, obesity, and hypercholesterolemia? An alternate to ultimate. Doctor, introducing for the first time in India, the ultimate ulterior ultra-rich fiber, Fibrich, that is galactomannan 1:1 fiber drink. As rich as 92% fiber, 80% soluble fiber, and 12% insoluble fiber from fenugreek. Soluble dietary fiber galactomannan extracted from medicinal fenugreek seed, composed of 80% galactomannan soluble fiber and 12% insoluble fiber, totaling to 92% fiber. Doctor, Fibrich, only source of good galactomannan and mannose exist in a 1:1 ratio with galactose. The ratio is highly unique compared to other galactomannans. Doctor, Fibrich, a finite control for infinite complications. Doctor, in stomach, Fibrich forms gel structure, 1/3 volume filled with gel, creates fullness of stomach, thereby reduce appetite, provides positive effects of bariatric surgery without complications of bariatric surgery. Fibrich in duodenum reduce the fat absorption by binding to fatty acids. Doctor, Fibrich in small intestines prolongs the gastric emptying time of intestinal contents. This gel form delays the absorption. Fibrich in large intestine adds bulkiness to stools and relieves constipation. Doctor, Fibrich, a finite control for infinite complications. Dr. Fibrich, the ultimate for ulterior blood sugar management. Fibrich galactomannan has the higher ratio of galactose, which has a stronger effect of lowering the level of blood sugar. After Fibrich dissolves in water, however, it traps the dietary sugars inside the gel. Consequently, sugar is absorbed more slowly into bloodstream, which avoids sharp spike in blood glucose. This leads to greater sensitivity to action of insulin. Avoiding high peaks and low valleys in blood glucose places less stress on the pancreas. This ensures uniform control of blood glucose levels. Thus, Dr. Fibrich, a finite control for infinite complications. Dr. Fibrich, the high-tech product for hypertriglyceridemia and hypercholesterolemia. Fibrich lowers serum triglycerides, total cholesterol and LDL cholesterol. Doctor, soluble fiber in Fibrich is more effective at lowering cholesterol through its ability to reduce the amount of bile reabsorbed in the intestine. To make up the exerted bile through feces, the liver makes more bile salts. Therefore, the more bile salts are made from the liver, the more LDL cholesterol is pulled from the blood. The short-chain fatty acid generated by fermentation of Fibrich in the large intestine may inhibit the amount of cholesterol produced by liver. Dr. Fibrich, a finite control for infinite complications. Dr. Fibrich, oriented for obesity and overweight. Fibrich can help to control all the above medical conditions by reducing weight and weeding out cholesterols, LDL and triglycerides. Dr. Fibrich reduces fat as Fibrich contains reabsorption of bile. Fibrich not only stops the fat absorption but also acts on stored fat and cholesterol, thereby reducing overweight and obesity. Thus, Dr. Fibrich is a finite control for infinite complications. Doctor, when comparing our Fibrich with the bariatric surgery, Fibrich achieves weight loss, fat reduction, cholesterol reduction, triglycerides reduction, and blood sugar reduction are achieved by filling the 3/4 of stomach. There is no diet restriction. Fibrich treats gallstones and it reduces appetites. Thus, Dr. Fibrich is a finite control for infinite complications. Doctor, the ultimate uses with Fibrich are reduces glucose levels by 35% to 40%, thereby reduces insulin requirement. Fibrich reduces cholesterol, reduces triglyceride, 13 to 23% reduction recorded by various studies. Fibrich reduces fat absorption in the body, reduces incidence of hyperglycemia. Fibrich reduces weight and obesity. 2 to 5 kg weight reduction is observed. Fibrich keeps active for long periods without feeling hungry. Thus, Dr. Fibrich is a finite control for infinite complications. Doctor, finally, Fibrich is a manager of blood sugar, obesity and weight. Fibrich lowers the cholesterol levels in the body. Fibrich functions in diabetic hypertriglyceridemia and triglyceridemia. Fibrich reduces the gallstones. Fibrich functions in irritable bowel syndrome and Fibrich acts as gut digestive health management. Thus, doctor, please prescribe Fibrich, a finite control for infinite complications. Minutes of the menu is a concern for glycemic index and high blood sugar. Minus the minutes of menu mathematics with menu mix. Galactomannan 1:1 fiber food mix. Maintains glycemic index at low level. 5% menu mix to be mixed with wheat flour, idli mix or any other foods will ensure low glycemic index. The following is the table that represents the test and reference food, glycemic index and range. Menu mix. Minus the minutes for more mastery.